So, as part of the resource management knowledge area, we are going to look at understanding what the project resource management knowledge area is all about, resource management overview and resource management processes. Project resource management in PMP defines 10 knowledge areas, one of which is project resource management. When we say project resource management, we should look at understanding what resources are required for managing the projects, acquiring those resources, and managing them throughout the project life cycle. For this, we need to understand what project resource management is all about. When I say resource, it can be human resource, technology resource, or any resource required for a project to be completed. Now, when we say scope, for example, you will define a scope for a deliverable, which will come as an output of a project. Similarly, while defining the project, we should also define the scope of the resources required to deliver that result. So project resource management includes the processes to identify, acquire, and manage the resources needed for the successful completion of the project. The resource management overview includes trends and emerging practices. When I say resource management methods, we know the dynamics associated with various resources. We acquire the resources based on the type of project we are doing. Commonly, human resources are required in every project. For example, if you say it's an IT project, you need human resources. If you say it's a civil construction project, you need resources, but the dynamics of these human resources change based on the kind of skills, capabilities, and experiences required for a given project. Similarly, when it's an IT project, you need to work on applications, network devices, and infrastructure components. But in civil construction, you're not working with those IT components, instead, we are speaking about cement, bricks, etc. So even quantifying those resources, acquiring them, and utilizing them in a given project is very essential. The dynamics of those resources have to be understood and handled accordingly. Specifically, when we talk about human resources, emotional intelligence plays a very important role for the project manager to use during project management. This requires effort from the project manager to perform certain roles. For example, when we talk about leadership, we speak about authoritarian leadership, laissez-faire leadership, and participative leadership. When should the project manager be authoritarian? When should the project manager behave authoritatively? When should a project manager be participative? When should a project manager become laissez-faire, meaning delegate and allow the team to work on it and then review? This requires a lot of influencing thoughts while engaging with people, especially the project team members. We are also talking about engaging with customers, suppliers, and sponsors. These transactions need certain emotional influence as well, for which emotional intelligence may be required. Self-organizing teams is a buzzword often used in agile contexts. However, today, with the changing needs of business where quick responses are required to go to market, the operations need to respond and manage things the way the user wants. The user's experience only makes sense when value realization happens. Because of that, enablement across the teams in the project as well as those managing the product or services is required. For many organizations, it's not about a self-organizing team, where the team owns the product or services, but rather a more distributed responsibility across multiple members instead of one individual or specialist. With the advancement of technology, today, the movement of skills across different regions may not always be needed. Short teams and distributed teams may work together with the help of technology. This also brings up a lot of challenges because teams are not always in front of the project manager, so this requires a specific approach towards managing those resources, which the project manager should understand and deal with. Tailoring considerations in resource management primarily aim to understand the diversity of resources. As I mentioned, based on various capabilities and geographical locations, the physical question is another concentration. Culture changes, people come from different backgrounds, and industry-specific or project-specific resources may be required. According to the industry and project, the thought processes and dynamics associated with the resources will change. The management requirement for the resources themselves, such as the development and acquisition of team members, will also vary. So when you actually start a project, during the execution phase, you may need to ramp up the team members. Identifying the right skills and capabilities before that requires clearly articulating roles and responsibilities in the project organization structure. Accordingly, team members need to be acquired. Interestingly, you can't just get a resource, especially human resources, tailor-made for the project. They need to be trained, inducted, and educated about the project to become ready for project execution. As the project progresses, managing this team, engaging with this team, and ensuring timely delivery as defined in the schedule and within the cost constraints needs to be ensured. So engaging with the team through the life cycle approach, as I already mentioned, a product will have a life cycle, and similarly, the project will also have a life cycle. When we talk about a product life cycle, it's larger than a project life cycle. We use a project to introduce a product, initiate a project to bring in new features or functionality to an existing product, improve something, or retire a specific product or service. So we need to visualize the life cycle of a product and, at the same time, the life cycle of the project that will introduce something to that environment. In a way, a project itself is a big change management effort because it introduces change to the environment. A project will have a start and an end, temporary and over, which PMP defines as having a specific start and specific end. From this start to end, there is a life cycle for the project, which is part of the entire product life cycle, was EPIC. According to the type of products we are creating and the kind of projects we are taking on, whether it's an improvement project, creation of a new product or service, introducing features or functionality to an existing product or service, or retiring a product or service, depending on that, the life cycle of the specific product or service will shape the project's initiation and management. It has to be dealt with resource management processes. So resource management processes are distributed across various process groups. When I say plan resource management, estimate activity resources, they fall under the planning process group. Acquire resources, develop team, and manage team are part of the executing process group, and control resources is a process that is part of the managing and control process group. So plan resource management is the first process in the planning process group in the resource management knowledge area. Plan resource management is the first and the initial step of the project. While planning for resources, one needs to understand what kind of resources are required and how we are going to engage them. If it is human resources, we engage and manage them. If it is not a human resource, any other resources, we manage technology resources or facilities resources. This involves various aspects like defining the process of estimating, acquiring, managing, and using physical and human resources. This process is usually performed only once or at a few predefined points throughout the project life cycle to help establish the approach and level of management required for managing resources. Every resource needs to be assessed and understood, what kind of resource is required and how we are going to manage it. This has to be clearly articulated to manage it as the project progresses. These aspects majorly influence the type and complexity of the project. Inputs to this process would be the project management plan and project documents. When I say project charter, we know that the project charter is created in the initiating process group, which provides the basic details and serves as an input to the planning process group. One of the processes where the project charter serves as an input is land resource management. The project management plan includes the quality management plan, scope baselines, which come from integration management, and project documents like project schedules, requirements documentation, risk registers, and stakeholder registers. Further input can be enterprise environmental factors and organizational process assets. The tools used as part of plan resource management include expert judgment, data representation, organizational theory, and meetings. When we say experts, we refer to all those specialized people who have specific experience in managing resources, specific resources, and various different data considerations. Since we are speaking about resource management, we should also look at what kind of organizational structure is required for this project. Meetings should be held to engage with people and facilitate discussions. Outputs of planned resource management include the resource management plan, the team charter, and project document updates. When I say resource management plan, we are going to understand from it what approaches we have to manage the resources and what kind of team structure we would have, as well as the dynamics involved. This particular plan is consolidated into the overall project plan, which is integrated into integration management. This is one of the subsidiary plans. The process of estimating activity resources is crucial. When I say estimate activity resources, the details of activities are already captured in schedule management. For example, scope management provides the scope baseline. While deriving the scope baseline, a work breakdown structure, WBS, is created as part of it. Further, effort activities are identified for those WBS elements, which happens in schedule management. Referring to schedule management for the WBS element, where efforts are estimated, one needs to determine what kind of resource is required and in what quantities. The estimate activity resources process involves planning and estimating activity resources based on the defined WBS structure. In this process, the resources required for the project, along with the type and quantity of tools, equipment, raw materials, and supplies, are estimated. This process is generally executed at specific intervals throughout the project life cycle. By doing this, one can pinpoint what type of resources the project needs, in what amounts, and what characteristics they should have in order to finish the project successfully. Estimating activity resources can only be done after creating the WBS structure and after schedule management sequences activities appropriately. Because of this sequencing, while estimating resources, one must also determine when these resources are required, not just what resources and in what quantity, but also when they will be needed. This is due to schedule management working in parallel with resource management. Inputs to this process include the project management plan, which consists of the resource management plan and the scope baseline. Project documents such as activity lists, assumption logs, cost estimates, resource calendars, risk registers, enterprise environmental factors, and resource availability are also considered. It is crucial to know what resources are available within the organization so they can be allocated effectively to the project. Other factors such as team resource skills, organizational culture, published estimating data, market conditions, and organizational process assets, including policies, procedures, and historical information, are also taken into account. The tools used as part of estimating activity resources include expert judgment, data representation, organizational theory, and meetings. Outputs include resource requirements, basis of estimates, resource breakdown structure, and project document updates. Resource requirements are mapped to specific activities that need to be completed, with an explanation of why those resources were estimated in that particular quantity. The resource breakdown structure provides details related to the WBS or the kind of resources. Then project management plan updates, project document updates, EF updates, and then OPM updates develop the team process. So as you acquire human resources, you may need to educate them in terms of what is expected of them in a given project. What is their role? An individual may have a specific skill set and capability. That's okay. That's about specific skills and capability. But what is expected of that particular individual with those specific skills and capabilities in this project? What is the deliverable from that individual? So this process purely concentrates on team bonding development and assigning them rewarding work, which includes opportunities and career development. If someone working on a project does not see how it contributes to their future career progression, they may not be very motivated. Therefore, one needs to provide visibility to the project members as they are on board. This will help enhance overall team performance by improving team members' competencies, interactions, and environment. So this process is performed throughout the project life cycle. It intensifies teamwork, improves interpersonal skills, motivates the team, and reduces distractions. This requires providing a lot of insights into the project. What are they going to deliver? How will that contribute to their career progression in a positive way? These aspects should be visible. This requires an induction when the team is on board. Brainstorming takes place as team members may not know each other. One must facilitate interactions so that the team gets to know each other and can start performing effectively. Inputs include the project management plan, which consists of the resource management plan, project documents like lessons learned, project team assignments, resource calendars, team charter, and enterprise environmental factors. Enterprise environmental factors includes human resource management policies, team member skills, competencies, specialized knowledge, and geographical distribution of team members. Organizational process assets, OPA, include historical information and lessons learned repositories. The tools used as part of team development include collocation, virtual teams, communication technology, interpersonal and team skills, recognition and rewards, training, individual and team assessments, and meetings. Collocation refers to people working from various locations in a group, requiring significant interactions. Formal communication should be increased to ensure clarity for the team, making transactions smoother with more frequent connections. Even when working with a team sitting nearby, connection happens naturally. However, when the team is not physically present with the project manager, significant effort is required to keep communication channels open. Communication technology plays a vital role in connecting with the team. Interpersonal and team skills, such as emotional intelligence, leadership styles, laissez-faire, authoritarian, or participative approaches, and effective engagement strategies, are essential. The project manager must possess leadership traits to connect and influence the team. Recognition and rewards help motivate team members. They also highlight quick wins within the project. Training should be provided whenever necessary, covering areas like soft skills, technology, or specific skill acquisition. Training enables both individual and team assessments. The outputs of the team development process include team performance assessments, change requests, project management plan updates, project document updates, EF updates, and OPM updates. Managing the team is a process where each team member's performance is monitored and tracked. It is essential to understand how individuals and resources are performing. Necessary actions should be taken to correct deviations, motivate the team, address problem areas, resolve issues, and provide regular feedback. This process is generally performed throughout the project life cycle and helps influence team behavior, manage conflicts, and resolve issues. A team that is simply given tasks without guidance may not achieve the expected results. Regular performance evaluations and feedback are necessary. Platforms should be provided for skill and capability acquisition to improve performance. Inputs, project management plan, which is basically the resource management plan. Project documents like lessons learned, sister project team assignments, resource calendars, team charter, and enterprise environmental factors. Environmental factors include human resource management policies, team member skills, competencies, specialized knowledge, and the geographical distribution of team members. Organizational process assets, OPA, include historical information and lessons learned depositories. The tools used as part of developing a team would be collocation, virtual teams, communication technology, interpersonal and team skills, recognition and rewards, training, individual and team assessments, and meetings. When we say collocation, people exist in various locations within a group. This requires a lot of interactions. Formal communication should be increased so that the necessary clarity is provided to the team, making transactions smoother and fostering better connections. Even when working with a team sitting next to you, the effort to connect may not be required as it happens naturally. However, when the team is not physically present in front of the project manager, it requires significant effort to maintain open communication channels. Similar dynamics apply to collocated teams. Using appropriate communication technology is essential for keeping teams connected. Interpersonal and team skills are critical, including emotional intelligence, laissez-faire, authoritarian, or participative approaches. When engaging with a team, the project manager must possess leadership traits and qualities to connect with and influence the team effectively. Recognition and rewards help motivate team members by showcasing quick wins in the project. Providing training when required, whether in soft skills, technology, or specific skill acquisition, enables individuals and teams to improve their performance. Outputs of the team development process include team performance assessments, change requests, project management plan updates, project document updates, enterprise environmental factors updates, and OPA updates. Managing a team involves monitoring and tracking each team member's performance. It is essential to understand how individuals and resources are performing and take necessary corrective actions if deviations occur. If everything is progressing well, motivation should be provided to the team. Tracking problem areas, identifying issues, resolving them, and giving regular feedback is crucial. This process is performed throughout the project life cycle and helps in influencing team behavior, managing conflicts, and resolving underlying issues. Engaging with the team is necessary. A team left without direction may not accomplish the desired results. Continuous evaluation of performance, providing feedback, and creating platforms for skill development are critical for success. Inputs to this process include the project management plan, resource management plan, project documents such as issue logs, lessons learned registers, project team assessments, and team charters, and performance reports, whether physical or electronic. Project management teams conduct ongoing formal or informal assessments of team performance to gain visibility and make necessary adjustments. Enterprise environmental factors include human resource management policies, while organizational process assets, OPA, include certificates of appreciation, corporate apparel, and other organizational prerequisites. Tools used in this process include interpersonal and team skills, project management information systems, PMIS, which capture details about project resources, deliverables, skills, and progress. These insights help teams move forward effectively. Outputs of this process include change requests, procurement management plan updates, project document updates, and enterprise environmental factors updates. Control resources involve monitoring and controlling processes where project managers ensure that assigned resources are available as needed. They monitor estimated versus actual usage to quantify resource utilization. Resource estimation is based on identified and sequenced activities within the project scope and schedule. If deviations occur, corrective actions must be taken. The control resource process is implemented throughout the project life cycle to ensure that necessary project resources are deployed to the correct places at the correct time and released appropriately when the project concludes. This is an overview of controlling resources in project management. The inputs to this process. Project management plan, basically resource management plan, project documents that is issue log, lessons learned registered, physical resource assignments, project schedule, resource breakdown structure, resource requirement, risk register. Work performance data, which would contain the data on project status such as number and types of resources that have used agreements made within the context of project which are basis of all resources or external to the organization, that is policies regarding resource control and assignment, escalation procedures for handling issues within the performing organization. Lessons learned repository from previous similar projects. Tools, data analysis, problem solving, interpersonal skills, PMIS. Outputs of control resource process would be work performance information, change request, in any deviations found, procurement management plan updates, and then project documents updates. So this concludes resource management process areas. Basic coverage in terms of what is resource management is all about and what are the various processes involved in resource management knowledge area, defined in PMP framework.